It's yet another day for us to bring the Lord to your doorstep. Hello, everyone. My name is Precious, and I'll be your host for today's talk show series. Today, I have here with me two law students from the University of Professional Studies. I want them to introduce themselves, and then we'll move on to today's topic.
Okay, so thank you. My name is Kweko Sisaracho, level 300 law student, and I'm here with
Bernadette and Yonam Eje and level 200.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. Today, we are talking about defamation. I won't wasting much of your time. I want to look at the legal definition for defamation in our Ghanaian law.
So thank you very much for your question. So defamation, right? I want to start by saying that in our local dispensation, where we have the saying that goes that a good name is better than riches, in the sense that from this proverb, we can see that the reputation of a person is of great essence to the person. And if you come to the branch of law that governs the protection of an individual, that's where we know that the law of defamation comes inside. So for us to really understand what defamation is, we have to look at various pronouncements that has been made by the common law courts, and also how those pronouncements has been incorporated into our legal dispensation. So for us to really understand what defamation is, we have to first look at the case of Pamita versus Scotland, where the learned judge justice at that time, who was Pakagi, sought to define a defamatory statement to mean that any statement which is calculated to expose a person to ridicule, hatred, or contempt. So let's say, for example, if a statement is made about someone and a third party in this instance, right, gets to hear about this information or statement and about some kind of um, hatred or contempt against the person to read the statement was made against, can say that this was a defamatory statement in this instance, right? And also, in as much as this defamatory statement go ahead to expose a person to hatred or ridicule, it also has a tendency of also reducing the respect which the person has about someone. So today's a case which was decided in England, and which case is Sin versus Church. So in that case, Lord Atkin sought to give a definition of what a defamatory statement is. And he was of the view that a defamatory statement is that which lowers or has the tendency of lowering the person's estimation about a person in the face of right thinking members of society. So if someone makes a statement, right, and that statement goes a long way to affect or reduces the respect a person has about someone, can say that that is a defamatory statement. Defamation also has the potential of making people to avoid or shun the company of another person. So with the understanding of this, we move on to the elements of defamation. So what are the elements of defamation? The element of defamation was stated in the case of Owusu Domina versus Amor, where the learned judge in this instance listed 5 elements to prove that there's actual defamation. So the first element was that there has to be a publication, right? So there has to be a publication, and that publication that was made must concern the plaintiff in this instance. That's the second element. And the third element is that the word should be, in its literal and its simplest form, should be capable of a defamatory meaning. And the fourth element is that looking at the surrounding circumstances, it must be pointed out that the defendant actually was referring to the plaintiff in this instance. And the last element is that the defendant in this instance must be actuated by malice, in the sense that he must have the intention to have done or brought out the statement to injure the reputation of the plaintiff. However, looking at the case of Benjamin Dufour versus Bank of Ghana and Graphic Communication, the learned judge who was Henrietta Mensah added the last element to it. So he was of the view that the defendant in this instance must have no defense. So these are the elements to show that there is actual defamation.
Okay, so moving on, talk about the jurisdiction of the courts when it comes to hearing defamation cases. So under our Ghanaian laws or in Ghana, different courts have jurisdiction when it comes to hearing matters involving defamation. And defamation is a civil wrong in Ghana. So let's take the High Court for instance. The High Court under Article 141 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, has been given the mandate or jurisdiction to hear all matters, be it criminal or civil. So also we have the district court and then the circuit court. They also have jurisdiction to hear certain civil matters or criminal matters, but they have a limit when it comes to the monetary value of the claim being made. The monetary value in the sense being the amount of damages sought for. So when you take the district court, for instance, their limit is to hear cases where the amount of damages sought is does not exceed 500,000 Ghana cedis, and for the circuit court, the amount of damages sought shouldn't exceed 2 million Ghana cedis. So for the High Court, they don't have a limit to the amount of damages that can be sought in a particular case. So they have unlimited jurisdiction. So yes. So typically or most of the times, defamation cases are actually heard by the High Court of Ghana.
So there you have it, viewers. This is what the law says about defamation, and these are the elements of defamation. Thank you so much for staying with us through today's episode of the Courtroom series. Until we meet again with another episode, it's bye for now.